All right, so tell me a little bit about what you're doing here today.
Well, I'm biking across America, eating solely food that I find in dumpsters to raise awareness and demonstrate about how much perfectly good food is being thrown into dumpsters when it should be donated to people in need.
Do you have trouble finding all of this food in the dumpsters, or is it just readily available? Is it just a reflection of the waste that Americans are constantly, throwing away that's perfectly usable?
Well, we throw away $165 billion worth of food per year, which is pretty hard to imagine how much money that is, but that's more than we've spent on wars some years. And we know how much we spend on wars. Another example is that our food stamp program is $76 billion a year, so that's how much federal aid we give in food stamps. Over twice that amount we throw away per year. So it's a lot of food. So really simply, if I open a dumpster, it's basically full of perfectly good food. From Wisconsin to New York City, doing these food waste fiascos. This is my fifth one. Every one, just the night before the night before or the morning of, I've been able to collect just giant piles of perfectly good food. Every city across America.
So, what do you do with all of this food?
So what I do with a food waste fiasco is I collect a lot of it, bring it to a park like the National Mall, and then create a visual so people can see how much perfectly good food is going to waste, because it's hard to just listen to the numbers, the statistics, and understand it. But when people see the food and they see what is bottled water doing in the dumpster, they can understand it a lot better that way. Food waste is a root issue behind so many of our current problems, whether it's environmental or social. I mean, we have 50 million food insecure Americans. 1 in 7 Americans is food insecure, yet we throw away enough food to feed 2 entire Americas. So we could feed every hungry person in America 5 times over while reducing all the food that's being sent to the landfill. It's just truly a no-brainer, feeding the people in need and reducing our environmental harm at the same time. It just makes sense.
Why do you think Americans throw away perfectly good food?
There's a lot of reasons. One of the biggest reasons that food is thrown away is a misconception of liability. So grocery stores say, oh, we can't donate the food because we'll get sued if someone gets sick. The truth is that they're protected by the Good Samaritan Food Act, passed in 1996. And on top of that, not a single grocery store has ever been sued after donating food to a food rescue program or a nonprofit. So this idea of liability is just completely absurd, and I think in the past that was an issue. People haven't caught on to the fact that it's not anymore. So what I'm telling people to do is simply tell your grocery stores to donate, not dump. Use the hashtag donate, not dump, and just put a little pressure on the grocery stores and say, hey, feed the hungry people, not the dumpsters.